draft offensive and defensive linemen. If we learned anything from the first run with the Joe Gibbs era, if you can control the offensive and defensive lines, the quarterback, the running back, the linebackers, they're secondary parts, okay? Get the big boys, get the nasties, and after that, have fun.
Get some hogs in here.
Get some big old boys that are nasty.
We need to be able to define this team. You know, this team doesn't have the name or like the Over the Hill Gang or the Steel Curtain. They need to be defined. It's something missing yet.
All right, welcome back to the Sideline Report. Marvin Jackson here along with Donna Hopkins. And Donna, we got to get some big boys in here. That's what Jeff Bostic said.
If you know anything about farming, you know anything about hogs, you know that they will pounce on you and run over you. So I understand what he's talking about.
All right, and maybe the new coach needs to hear that same soundbite, right? Whoever the new coach is.
Definitely.
Now, who is that going to be?
It's going to be interesting because, as we said before, I think they're going to look at someone on the offensive side of the ball because they've got to be able to come in here and work with RG3, a young quarterback. And I think that the Seattle coach is the perfect fit because I think that a young coach coming in here for the first time that hasn't been a head coach before will be hungry. And he comes from a winning tradition and everything. He's worked with Russell Wilson. The interesting thing will be is whoever comes in here, are they going to want them to run an option offense or allow that person to run the offense that best fits the team as a whole? So
and that's a good point because he's done well with Russell working both types of offenses.
Yeah, exactly. So I pretty much like him because of the youth that he will bring. The energy. He understands the game, and I think that he just has a hunger for it. And they said that he's an excellent person in working with players, young players. But I think the most important person, I think, along with that head coach, is assistant GM.
Yes, and that's something that, like Bossy was saying, he was actually talking to Bruce Allen, and maybe he needs to have another guy in there, maybe Jeff Bostic.
Yeah, you think
or somebody like Darryl Green
who has thrown
Doug
his hat
Williams.
in there a little bit.
Those guys could go in and help him.
Or even if not them, it's some guys out there would be great. You think about when the Redskins were successful as a unit, when they were winning the Super Bowls and everything, they had Bobby Betther and Charlie Taylor. They had a GM and an assistant GM. So I think that with the salary cap and everything that goes into building a team, you need two solid guys in there.
And let's talk about Lovie Smith getting the Tampa job and then O'Brien getting the job in Houston. Which one of those guys will probably be more successful to you?
Look at Lovie Smith. He got the job first before anybody else. They snatched him up. A lot of other teams was wanting Lovie Smith. But I think that the team that he's going to with Tampa is more put together than a Houston's team because they've already got a good defense, and he's a defensive coordinator. But so I think he'll have more success early on.
All right.
He needs a quarterback, though.
Yeah, he does. Now, let's talk about the rest of the league. The playoffs are here, and let's talk about the matchups.
We won't be going.
We're not in.
We're not
we
there.
won't be going.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some of these matchups and some of the games that are coming up. We've got the Eagles.
Saints going to Philadelphia.
Yes. Now, the Saints
Dirty
don't
Birds.
usually play well.
In a cold.
Yes. So that game is probably going to be the Eagles, right?
It's playoffs. Drew Brees, you cannot put him out and just count him out. But the Eagles are playing pretty good ball now. But I'm still thinking I'm going with the Saints. Okay,
you're going with the Saints. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Jimmy Graham. You got to be able to stop them.
Yeah, and then San Francisco. That's going to be a pretty good game too.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be good games all around, but I think that San Francisco wins that game because I think that they're better than they were in the beginning of the season. I think that their defense is solid. They've got all of their weapons back on offense. I give it to San Francisco that game.
All right, and
who do you like?
I'm going with San Francisco.
Yeah,
I just think that they're a playoff team.
I think Green Bay,
They're a
with
playoff
Aaron
team.
Rodgers back, even with that being said, they've got too many other injuries.
Yes.
And I just think that they've got the weapons and on
And
San Francisco.
I don't really think Aaron is back as strong.
Not
as-
100%
no,
against
he's not
that defense that he's
100%,
gonna
not
have to
against
face.
those guys.
Yeah.
They're going to be going after him. I guess we've got Kansas City coming up against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, that should be a pretty good game.
Andy Reid took
Yes.
the team the first year to the playoffs, but you can't count out the Colts too, because they played good down the stretch the last 2 games. But I'm telling you, I'm picking Kansas City because I think their defense. I think that they do enough on offense to be able to win too. So I think that their defense against the Colts are going to slow them down. So I'm picking Kansas City in that one.
All right, and then you got Cincinnati. You're going to pick them because you've been picking them all year, right?
I said that they would be there. But that's going to be a tough game because Cincinnati is so up and down, throughout the season, the last part of the season, just to get there. But I like Cincinnati. I'm going to pick them in this first round.
All right, and do we talk about the Super Bowl? Who's going to get there?
Hard to say right now. Everybody is saying Denver, but
open.
It's wide open.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I like Denver. I mean, with what they've done, but a lot of other teams are playing well.
All right.
I'm going to hold off on the Super Bowl right now.
All right.
Let's just get through the playoffs, the first part.
And we're both agreeing Darrell Bevel.
Yeah,
as the
definitely.
head coach of
So
Washington
if they're asking us,
Hey,
that's who we want in here.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Donna. It's been great. And
So sad that we're not in the playoffs.
Oh my goodness, yes. And hopefully maybe next year.
Yeah, hopefully they'll hire this coach in the next few weeks too.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Sideline Report. Thanks again, Donna, for being here, your expert insight and analysis as always. And thank you for watching, and make it a great new year. I'm Marvin Jackson. See you next time.